All right, so we are going to make, or I am going to make a bracelet. I don't make too many bracelets on video. I haven't made too many, so we're gonna make a bracelet. I'm gonna show you how to do that. I got a couple of forks here. This is a great pattern. This is a great 40s pattern. They made these into the 50s as well. This was called Eternally Yours. It's a great pattern. And so I'm gonna show you, walk you through how I do this. So the first thing I do, the very first thing I like to do, I like to get some holes drilled. And so I take my punch and just right at the end here, because you need a couple of holes drilled here at the end. And so you just right there. And again, I'm just doing this the very end of each handle. So just real quick. And then I'll come over here to the drill. I'm gonna dip in water here. And then it's kind of hard. A lot of people struggle with this part. I've done it so many times that it's not too bad for me anymore. When I first started, it was pretty clumsy. But you want to get that hole drilled out towards the end of the handle here. This will actually be the top of the bracelet right here. So these two holes right here will be the top of the bracelet. And I dip them in water just a little bit. It may or may not, I don't know, but I always do that. And you just slowly run that drill through there. I like to do both sides, just like that. All right, and then the next thing I like to do is clean them up. Kind of the first polish, I'll polish it a couple more times, but we'll bring it over here to the buffer. And I like to get the back side and the front side, make it nice and pretty. This is a great silver plated pattern here. And I'm just gonna buff that out real nice and pretty. Both sides, the back and the front. And just buff them out really, really good. That buffer really cleans them up nice, real quick. All right, and then you just take them, kind of cool them down a little bit, and then just kind of wipe them down. Boy, they're sparkling. They are shining now. And so you got two forks that are nice and shiny. And so now I'm gonna come over here and just kind of get a mark of where I wanna cut it before I start bending on them. And I just use this little cheat sheet thing here on my workbench. It's kind of crude, but it works. And when it comes to bracelets, sizing of bracelets, it's pretty much small, medium, large. It's not like a ring where it has to be a very, correct size. Small, medium, and large is what you need. So now I've got it marked. And so here's what I use right here to start the bend for the bracelet. I just put it in here. This is a homemade job. I've had it for a long time. And I just put it in here just like this. Eternally Yours is not an easy pattern to work with. It is not an easy pattern to make a ring or a bracelet out of. And I just push it around here, just like so. And then kind of bring it out. And so you have this. You have this right here. And so you just want to do that on both of them. And that's just getting that first curl, that kind of that wrist shape, that bracelet shape. And so now you have two forks that look something like this. All right, and so then I take it over here to the bracelet mandrel. I've got a mandrel that is hooked right here. This is another homemade thing, but it works really well. And so I'm just gonna put it over this mandrel. You take your hammer here, just kind of put it over that mandrel just like this, and just hammer on it. And so now you're trying to get that, you're trying to get that wrist shape. Most people's wrist they're not round. They are kind of oval. And so this mandrel is made to do that. It's kind of an oval shape. I want it to fit really nice, have a nice oval shape to it. And so that's what the mandrel here is doing for me. And so now it's just it's a little bit more oval. You can kind of start to see that's going to be a bracelet kind of like that right there. So now I'm gonna put it right here, and where I marked it, so here's my mark right here. I'm just gonna put it right here, down here in the cutter, right on that mark, and voila. So now you got that piece, and then we're gonna cut the next one. Same spot, right on that mark, just like that. And so now I have two pieces that look something like this. I can turn my hand that way, and it's starting to look kind of like a bracelet. So this is going to be the top, just like that. But now I need two more holes drilled down here in the bottom. So we'll go back over here and get that punch again, get that hammer. And so again, you want to go out kind of towards the end of the handle here, right? We'll just say right about there. Make you a nice punch right there. Do the other one same way. Try to get about the same spot if you can. Again, it's not laser cut by no means. So now, got my punch where I want them, and then back over to the drill. And now we're going to drill the other end. So this 2x4 has seen better days. Almost time to break in a new one, but tonight it's going to work just fine. So now we're drilling the holes on the other end. So a little bit thicker on this end. It'll take just a few more seconds longer. There we go. And then you can turn it around. And I kind of like to, it's got these little burrs. And so if you just kind of put it up in here, that just takes those off. Now it's nice and smooth. All right, so kind of in the water a little bit. Again, I think it helps. It may not, but I think it does. Oop, that's not where I want to be. Let's see, where's that? We'll say right there. And again, it's a little thicker on this end, so it takes a few more seconds. And you don't want to force the drill bit. You don't want to break it. So just right there. And then again, clean that up on the back side, just like that. All right, now we'll take these over to the belt sander, because where you cut it pretty sharp, you don't want that. So you want to clean it up with that belt sander. And I'm just going to kind of round it like this. You don't want to stay in one spot too long. I don't know if you can see, but I'm rounding that off. I don't want it to be flat. So I make sure I'm moving constantly, not staying in one spot. So we got that one. And we'll do the next one. You just don't want it to be sharp. You don't want anything to cut somebody's wrist. That's not good. So we're just going to round that off nice and smooth. And like I said, just keep moving that. Just keep rounding it over that belt sander. Like that. Then, take them both back over to the buffer one more time. And just kind of buff out where you cut it and where you drilled that hole. Just makes it nice and smooth. Makes it look like it was never cut. So, nice and smooth as well. And you want to get into that buffer pretty good with these. Make it nice and smooth. There's one down. Get the next one nice and smooth. So I'm getting into this buffer pretty good, pretty hard. Because I want it to be nice and smooth. All right, that should do it. Cool it down here in the water. And then we'll clean these up and dry them off here. And then we'll go back over here. And so now, what it looks like is this. Well, that's not really wrist shape. So what I do is I bring it back to this contraption here, and I'm just going to put one in at a time. So I got one in just like that, okay? And I'm just going to push over here. Just kind of push, and boy, this one is thick and it is tough. It is a tough one. I can already tell you I'm going to have to go to the ring bender to kind of finish it out, but we will get there. Let's do the best we can right here first. And then we'll take it over to this, we'll take it to the ring bender and kind of finish it out a little bit. Because this thing is, boy, is that thick. So I'm gonna bring it over here to the ring bender and just kind of finish that curl just a little bit. You don't wanna press too hard because you just kind of, you want it to be in that oval shape. I'll show you here in just a second. That one's looking pretty good. We'll lay it just right there. And we'll put this one in there. Same thing. I'm just kind of making sure it's nice and oval. Again, you don't want a round bracelet, you want an oval bracelet. So let's see what these are looking like. And how you can tell, you want to make sure they're even. So you kind of just put them together like this. And that's awful close. That's pretty darn close. But this one's a little bit wider. So let's even it up with this one. And so I think I can do that right here. We'll try it. And so you're just gonna push that in a little bit. And then you just kind of match them up. You want to match them. You want the tops to be pretty even. And the reason why, you'll notice I'm leaving a little bit of a gap right here. That's for the magnet clasp. I use a magnet clasp, and I'm going to show you that here in just a second. So that's pretty oval. That's pretty good. That looks like a bracelet. So anyway, so I'm going to buff it out one more time. This is the last time I'll buff it out. Just that last clean before we put it together. Nice and pretty. It'll really shine now. When it comes to buffing, I like to use the white compound. Here's kind of what that looks like. I like the white compound. To me, it just gets them nice and shiny. A lot of people like the red rouge buffing compound, which is pretty good too. Nothing wrong with that. I just happen to use the white. All right, so that is going to be nice and pretty. Yeah, we'll put those down in the water real quick. I'm going to grab a fresh towel here to kind of dry them up. And this is the last one of that roll. So just kind of get those out. Just kind of wipe them down. It's going to be nice and shiny, nice and pretty now. Nothing shines like silver. Clean that up. All right, I'm going to lay, so we'll go back here. I'm going to lay that right there and grab the other one. All right, clean it up real good. And then I'll show you how I put it together, and we'll show you the finished product. So let's get it over here. I'll kind of put the other one. So now we got that look again. There we go. Nice and pretty, nice and even. And I'm gonna grab me a couple of jump rings here. Let's see, I should have had those out already, but that's all right. We'll get them now. You need 3 jump rings. One for the clasp and then one for the top. Now we're gonna put this thing together. I got my jump rings here, so I'm gonna open them up. They're closed right now. So you just I just use a couple pairs of pliers and just open them up, just like so. And then you just put that first one in that magnet. I like a magnet clasp. So you get the magnet started, and then you just put that right in there like so, and then close that jump ring up. I use real thick jump rings. I don't want them to fall apart. These are really, really strong jump rings. They are really strong. I don't want anything to come apart, so I get the real thick, heavy-duty ones. So I'm going to open this one up. Again, I want to run it through this magnet first. It just makes it easier. Run it through that magnet, and then through the other end and the other side. And close that back up. Oh boy. That is a good, strong jump ring. And so now you got something that looks like this. And so now this last jump ring goes right in those first holes I drilled, which is the top of the bracelet. I'm gonna open that up and just run it through one. and then run it through the other, and then close it up. And you're gonna have yourself a nice, pretty bracelet. Eternally yours. So guys, just like that, you got yourself a bracelet. I would put it on my wrist, but I don't think it'll fit. This is more for a lady. And so this is what we got. It's a beautiful, beautiful bracelet. Eternally yours. It's a great, great pattern. So I don't know if you can see all that, but it's just a great bracelet. And then, you know, just this magnet, it's just, you just slide it open, and that thing, it'll just clasp on its own, just like that. You just slide and clasp. There you go.